normal human being would understand that if someone's not answering the phone, it's because they don't want to talk to you. But it's been about 7 years and you still don't get it. And you're at my house. That's what I should have said. It's so strong Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title, I'm doing another story time because it's time. And if I look the same as I did in last week's video, it's because I just finished filming last week's video and I should have changed. But I actually like the way this sweater looks with my backdrop, so I'm gonna keep it on for a second video because I can. So I've been thinking about what video to do next, and I wasn't going to do this video. I totally forgot about this whole entire situation, but then it just randomly came to my head and I was like, OMG, that's a story time. You know, this is going to be a part of my dating horror story series, even though I never dated this dude, but he was crazy. So if you guys are interested in this video, then go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so the beginning of this video takes place when I was really young. I would say probably 12 or 13 years old. This was like middle school days. This goes way back, but then it continues into adulthood, which it shouldn't have. But it did. There was this guy, I'm gonna name him Blake, okay? So there was this guy Blake. He was so cool. He was the homie. He was one of my BFFs. We were super close. He was like a big teddy bear, just like the sweetest guy. And you know, he was just hella cool. In middle school, I found out that he liked me, and I was never the type of girl to act weird when a boy liked me. You know, when you're young and someone's like, oh, so-and-so likes you, and then you start acting shy and weird around them. I was never that type. Even though I did not like him back, I didn't want to make him feel weird. I still remained his friend. I knew he liked me, but I just didn't care, and I didn't let it come in between our friendship, right? Okay, so during this time, we're young, you know, this is a time where you're learning about the opposite sex or the same sex, and you're falling for people, and you're like, oh, he's cute, she's cute, you know, whatever the case may be. We're just coming into puberty, you know what I mean? So this was the time. Well, I remember during my 8th grade year, so I had known him since my 7th grade year. 8th grade year comes, and this is a time where the boys and the girls are wilding out, okay? Boys are walking around campus, slapping girls in the butt, and it wasn't a big deal back then. If a guy grazed your butt, girls felt flattered, you know? At least the ones that I hung out with, because nowadays, it's totally different. That's so disrespectful, yada yada. Back in the day, we took it as a compliment, which is so fucked up, but that's just how it was. There was this boy named, I'm gonna name him O, okay? So this boy named O, I thought he was kind of cute, whatever. We would flirt a lot. A lot of us would, this is so long ago, but a lot of us would hang out after school. We would walk down the street and go eat after school was done. And I remember one day I was sitting next to O, and O put his hand on my thigh. But that's all he did. He just put his hand on my thigh, and that was it, okay? It's not like he was doing nothing to me. We were eating and he had his hand on my thigh, okay? That's it. So the next day I go to school and Blake comes up to me, and Blake's like, you know, it doesn't really look good when O is sitting with you and he has his hands all over you, and kind of being a dad to me. And I thought it was so weird because I'm like, all he did was put his hand on my thigh. What? And he pretty much gets all mad at me and makes a big deal. I just thought it was really dumb. I just thought it was so dumb, and I'm like, you're not my dad, like, why are you tripping? That's just like one instance, okay? This was so long ago, I don't remember everything, but that's the type of person he was. He would try to come to me like, I'm just trying to look out for you, that doesn't look good. He'd be really condescending towards me, and I just didn't like that. But anyways, moving along. So I also was really close to this guy. I'm gonna name him Jay, okay? So Jay was my best friend in 8th grade. And I also was really close to another girl. Y'all know her as Cynthia, okay? Cynthia and I go way back. Cynthia, me, Jay, and Blake all decide to hang out one night, and we're with Cynthia's mom. So Cynthia's mom has all of us in her car, and I don't remember what we were doing. We were driving, shopping, or whatever it was, but it was really late at night, and I remember I was getting really tired, so we were all squished in the back seat, and I started falling asleep because it was really late and I wanted to go home. So I started falling asleep, and I end up laying on Blake, right? So Blake's arm is around me, and I end up just laying on him and dozing off or whatever. Well, Blake took it as me coming on to him, or me, I guess he thought that was my way of letting him know I liked him back finally after like a year and a half by this point. But it wasn't. I was literally just tired, and we were squished, and we were sitting that way anyways. His arm was already up. It wasn't even around me. It was up on the back of the car. So it was like the next night. We're still in 8th grade right now, right? Jay is telling me how Blake thinks I might like him, and I was like, what the heck, are you serious? And he's like, yeah. He's like, let's three-way call him. So I was totally down. I was like, yeah, let's three-way call him. I want to see what he has to say. You better tell him I don't like him. He's like, yeah, for sure. Jay three-way calls Blake. I put my phone on mute, and Jay is talking to Blake about me. During this time, Jay was my best friend above everybody else. Like, we were each other's best friends. Obviously, Blake is going to take everything Jay says seriously, because why wouldn't he? Blake is talking about me, saying how it just felt so right to have me laying on him, and how him and I should just be together, right? So Jay decides to take it upon himself to play a prank on Blake, which was so messed up. But Jay starts telling Blake, yo, you know, she was telling me about it, and she really likes you, and she's just scared to tell you. She told me she wants to be your girlfriend. And I'm sitting there like, are you fucking kidding me? Jay is not saying he's joking or anything. He's being dead serious, and he's telling him, dude, she really likes you, and she doesn't know what to do because she already told you she doesn't want to ruin the friendship, and she just wants to be friends with you, but she's growing so many feelings for you, and she really wants to be with you, and saying all this stuff to Blake. And Blake is so happy. He's like, tell her I want to be her boyfriend. I want to be with her. So Jay is lying on the phone, and he's like, I'm texting her right now. I'm telling her everything. And so Blake is like, what is she saying? And obviously he wasn't texting me because I was literally on the other line on mute. I'm texting Jay like, you need to shut that up. What are you doing? You better tell him you're just kidding. And Jay thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. So Jay's like, she just told me that, will you be her boyfriend? Blake's like, tell her I want her to be my girlfriend. Ask her. This is Blake's way of asking me to be his girlfriend. He's like, tell her I'm asking her if she'll be my girlfriend right now. And then Jay is like, yeah, she said yeah, she wants to be your girlfriend. And Blake's like, oh man, like, can't believe this. I'm gonna see her tomorrow at school. Like, I'm so excited, whatever. And then Jay's like, yeah. He's like, it's getting late though, I have to go. And he's like, all right. And then they hang up, right? And I get on the phone, and I'm like, are you kidding? Are you kidding right now? And Jay is cracking up. He thinks it's the funniest fucking thing. Like, thinks it's so funny. So immediately I have to go tell Blake. I think I texted Blake, and I had to tell him, hey, that was a joke. I never said any of that stuff. Jay's just fucking with you. I felt so bad, and Blake was bummed, dude. He didn't know I was on the other line, but I knew how messed up it was, and Jay thought it was so funny. So I think that was so jacked up. So basically I had to go and break Blake's heart, and I felt so bad about it, you guys. I felt so bad. I couldn't even look at him in the face anymore. And I think this point we're about to go into freshman year or something, and I don't remember if he went to our high school for a year and then left. I don't know what happened, but like, I just couldn't even be friends with him after that because I felt so bad. Imagine being him. I'm literally sitting on the other line listening to how happy he is, and I have to immediately, I don't remember if I called him or I texted him because it was so long ago. I feel like I might have called him, to be honest, but that was so jacked up what Jay did. And then he didn't apologize. He just was like, ha ha ha, this is so funny, ha ha ha, like you thought, literally teasing Blake. But the only reason Jay did that is because Jay had feelings for me, because we were besties, you know, like we had feelings for each other, but we didn't want to take it there. Jay just did it. It was vindictive of Jay. Like, he wanted to be like, haha, she doesn't like you. You know? It was very vindictive. And that whole thing with Jay is like a whole nother story. That could be like a 4-part series, because after that, Blake and I drifted apart, obviously. I mean, Blake would still hit me up all the time, and I just felt bad. I just felt like a freaking asshole. Like, I couldn't. He remained close to a lot of my same friends. We pretty much had the same friend group. I know he didn't go to high school with us for all 4 years. If he did go to high school with us, it was probably for a few months and then he dipped. But we had pretty much all the same friends. So he kept in touch with a lot of them, and him and I pretty much lost touch during high school. Well, fast forward, I was, I think, a junior, and there was this girl, I'm gonna name her Amy. Amy's older than me. She was, I think, 1 year older than me. So I think I was a junior and she was a senior. And her and I had a free period together. We had like a, well, I don't remember what class it was. It was an elective that was really stupid. So her and I had that elective class together. And she knew that Blake had liked me for years, because up until then he still wanted to be with me, but I just didn't talk to him. And he would hit me up and he would say all these things, and he would just not let go of me for a very long time. He would still call me, and he would always get new phone numbers, because I would save his phone number so I knew not to talk to him or not to answer. So he never had a steady phone number. He was always getting new phone numbers, and it would always be like the first time he got a new phone number, I would answer the phone and then I would hear his voice and I'd be like, fuck. And then I would save his number and never answer again. But then he'd get a new phone. So I don't know if he was getting a new phone because or new phone number because he wanted me to answer, but it was weird, y'all. This went on for years. But anyways, so now there was this girl, Amy, and he starts dating Amy. During his relationship with Amy, he still hits me up. He's still texting me. He's still calling me. It's not every single day, but it's like a few times a week, okay? And Amy is obviously falling in love with this dude. I was so happy that he was with her. So once he got with her, he would hit me up less, but he would still hit me up. So she knew that he liked me, and he liked me for years, and everybody knew that he liked me for years. And this wasn't like now where you can just literally block a phone number. You know what I mean? This was back in the day. This was before iPhones, okay? You couldn't just block a phone number back then. So I would, put his name in, like replace the phone number, put his name, but I would still have to get his calls. I would still have to get his text messages. I would still have to hear from him. I couldn't block him. Anyways, like I was saying, I was so happy when I found out that he was now dating Amy, because I was like, finally, thank God he can move on. Amy starts getting really crazy with me, okay? Every single day she's literally just snatching my phone from me, and she's like, I need to see if he's messaged you. I need to see if he's called you. She would just go through like my call log. She'd go through my text messages. She was very invasive. And I'd be like, obviously, I mean, I'm not gonna lie for him. You know what I mean? And in my head, I was like, maybe if she gets mad that he's constantly hitting me up, he'll stop hitting me up. Low-key, I didn't care. She would literally be like, give me your phone. Every single day we had class together. Every single day. And she did this the whole semester, you guys. The whole semester. I'm like, girl, if you gotta do this every single Monday through Friday, and it was the last period of the day, it probably drove her freaking crazy. And I'm like, dude, if you have to do this Monday through Friday, don't you think you're in the wrong relationship? But he did stop hitting me up. He really did. I think she probably, argued with him about it for a while, and he stopped hitting me up, which was amazing. So I finally stopped hearing from him. I don't know what happens to him. I literally do not know. Senior year, the next year, my senior year, we would have a lot of parties with kids from my grades because we were seniors and everyone could finally go out. So senior year, we were going to a lot of parties with our friends, and he would always show up. Him and I wouldn't really talk. We would say hi to each other. I'd give him a hug. How are you? And then I'd move on. He wouldn't hit me up. He wouldn't really call me. He would call me like once every 3 months with a new number, but that was it. He wasn't hitting me up every day or anything like that. One day, it's me, Blake, Cynthia, and this other guy, right? So this other guy, I'm gonna name him R, okay? So it's me, Blake, Cynthia, and R. I'm pretty sure we were all drinking, and R is flirting with me and, trying to be all up on me, and obviously Blake is pissed. It was just the four of us, and I don't even know why that day happened, because never in my life would I have wanted to do that. For some reason, I was there with R and Blake. At this point, I'm a whole ass adult. Oh no, actually I was only 17. I was in high school still, my bad. But at this point, I'm 17, about to be 18, okay? And I know that seems like a baby. Now when I think about it and I look at little 17-year-olds, I'm like, oh, you guys are babies. What are you doing? But when you're 17, you're thinking, I'm a grown ass bitch. R is all over me, whatever. I think R and I made out. I don't remember, to be honest. But regardless, R was all over me. I think him and I ended up making out, but it was nothing crazy. And then we ended up leaving. It wasn't a big deal. I was old enough, okay? I wasn't 13 or 12 anymore, okay? The next day comes, tell me why Blake is texting me, and he's telling me that he couldn't believe the type of girl I was. How could I act like that? I'm not with R, like we're not serious. How could I just kiss him? And I'm thinking, are you okay? I tell him, I'm like, look, that's not like a normal Monday for me, okay? Like, that's not something I do every single day. I was just having fun. It's not that serious. Re-fucking-lax. It's okay. And he's obviously just salty because that happens and I'm irritated. And then I, again, write his name in my phone and I ignore all his calls again. And he's still with Amy. But anyways, time moves on and I move to a different house. So he had known where I lived for a long time because I'd have parties at my old house, and my grandparents still live in that house, but everyone knew where I lived, pretty much. Like, everyone in high school knew where my house was. But then I ended up moving. This is already after high school now. Now I'm a whole ass adult. I'm 19 years old at this point. He calls me, okay? I'm 19 years old. I'm living in a new house. He calls me. And I had just had a party at my house where I texted out my address to a bunch of people. Somebody gave him that address. Or maybe somebody forwarded him the text about my party. Maybe he was at my party. I don't know. I had a big party one day, okay? Like, I don't even know who was there. But I had a party for my birthday. And he ends up calling me. I'm 19 years old. I remember this so freaking clearly, okay? So freaking clearly. He calls me. I answer because I don't know the number. I should have known by now. I should have known random numbers were him. So I get a call one night. I'm sitting in my room. It's late. It's like 10:30, 11 maybe. He's like, hey, I'm down the street. I want to see you. And I'm like, you know I live in Walnut. Like, I don't live in my old house. And he's like, yeah, I know where you live. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, I'm outside your house. I'm like, I'm sorry. What? And at this point, I hadn't seen this guy in so long. Probably 2 years. When I was 17 and I made out with R and he got pissed. And then before that, I probably didn't see him for years. Literally, since like I was 13. My ass goes out to the car, not thinking that maybe he could like kill me. Literally, like, this is how people die. I walk outside and I get into the car. I'm like, hey. I literally get into this man's car. Like, so I get into the car and I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I was just at home. And he's like, yeah, like, how have you been? And I'm like, why are you here, bro? This is weird. This is weird. And he's like, I just wanted to talk to you. Like, I don't get to talk to you anymore. You never answer your phone. How come you never answer your phone? And I'm like, any normal human being would understand that if someone's not answering the phone, it's because they don't want to talk to you. But it's been about 7 years and you still don't get it. And you're at my house. That's what I should have said. But I was like, you know what? I'm just always so busy. Trying not to get murdered, right? I've just been so busy. Like, I'm just so busy all the time. Like, I work. I don't even think I had a job at the time. I'm like, I work. I go to school. Like, I'm so tired all the time. Like, I'm never on my phone. And he's like, oh, like, I get it, whatever. And I'm pretty sure he's still with Amy at this point. He's either with Amy or they broke up, but they end up getting back together. Like, they're one of those couples that are, like, on and off. I literally don't know anything about them now. Like, I have no clue. I feel like they had a kid, but I honestly don't know. But he's, like, at my house, right? And he's like, you know, I always think about you. And I'm like, no fucking shit. I'm shocked. I'm like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, I don't know why. You're the one girl I always think back to. Like, you're the one girl I always think about, like, to this day. If you told me... He literally looks at me and tells me, if you told me right now that you were down to be with me, I would drop everything and be with you. And I'm like, you don't even know me. Are you in love with 12-year-old Nikki? Because that's weird. You gotta think something's wrong with this person. It's been 7 years. 7 years of me not reciprocating the feelings, not answering your calls, not texting you back. It has been 7 years and you've been in a whole ass 3-year relationship at this point. And you're going to tell me that if I said I wanted to be with you, just like that, you're going to drop everything? Are you okay? Because I'm not a catch. At that age, I was so messed up, y'all. Like, let me tell you, that girl did not deserve the love he was trying to give me. I will tell you that right now. That girl, no. I was thinking, like, are you okay, bro? Like, you don't know me. Like, you don't know the things that I've done. You don't even know how I act, how I talk. You do not know me. But he was dead serious. He was sitting in that car dead serious. I'm telling you, he wasn't drunk. He wasn't high. He was completely sober at my house. He was just at my house. He was just at my house and said, come outside. What? Who? How? And when he told me that, you know what I did? I laughed. I just laughed. I laughed and I said, you're crazy. And he was like, yeah, but I'm serious. And I was like, yeah, you're crazy. He was in a whole ass 3-year relationship. Like, it had been 3 years he was with Amy. And I was telling on him all the time. He should have been mad at me. I was telling on him all the time. I was like, hey, Blake, he hit me up last night. Here's my phone. Blake should have been mad at me, and he wasn't. So I don't remember what happened in that car. I remember just being so uncomfortable and being like, you know, I gotta go. My mom is wondering where I'm at and why I just randomly left the house. I have to go. Do you think he stopped hitting me up? No. You know how he finally stopped hitting me up? Do you know? Because I changed my number. Finally. I finally changed my number. That is how I got rid of him. And that's probably why to this day I will not answer an unknown number. I don't answer unknown numbers ever. I refuse. I will Google a number before I answer it. Like, no. But yeah, you guys, that is the time this dude will not leave me alone. Like a literal stage 5 clinger for 7 freaking years. And I buried it so deep into the back of my mind that I completely forgot about it until the other day. And now I'm here telling the story for y'all. So if you enjoyed this video, please like it down below and also subscribe to my channel if you like these videos, so I know to make more. You know what I mean? Like the video, subscribe, let me know this is what you like. I have so many dating horror stories to tell y'all. It's insane. But like, also, I never dated this dude, but men are just crazy. Like, if you agree, go ahead. Anyways, guys, if you made it to the end, thank you so much. I love you so much, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.